Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. We are on location again. We are in lovely South San Francisco. I don't think I've ever recorded in South San Francisco before. We are at the Hangar, which is a new. This is not a sponsored podcast or anything, but we are at this kind of newish food hall / work. What would you call it? Like a workspace. It's very, very cool. Over on Forbes Ave. So we tried some food. We'll talk about the food later, but we're recording in person with Susanna, a.k.a. the Smelly Lunchbox lady. No, what is your a.k.a.? A.k.a.
Smelly Lunchbox.
Smelly Lunchbox, yeah. So this is going to be fun. So we're going to talk a little bit about food and a little bit about culture and sharing culture through food. But welcome to the show, Susanna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is my first podcast ever, so it's really exciting.
Oh, don't worry. It's easy. If you can do video, you can do audio.
Sounds good.
So if you haven't seen Susanna's content, it is super fun. It is a lot of Cantonese / Toisan influenced dishes, short form and a couple longer ones, right?
Mostly short form. I would love to get into long form, but right now it's just short form.
Yeah, but also a really good website.
Oh, thank you.
Which we'll talk about.
Thanks.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, a lot of home cooking and a lot of just dishes that mean something to her and her family, and maybe your family as well. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before we get started, we like to greet our guests in the Asian way.
Of course.
Susanna, have you eaten yet?
We just ate together.
We just ate together. Yeah, actually, my daughter's here too. Do you want to say hi? Okay, we have one of my daughters here with us. Yeah, with the food. So we're at the Hangar, and they have 3. If you count the coffee shop, there's 4 places to get food. One was like Mexican. One looked like very leafy greens.
Healthy. We avoided that one.
Cheese board. It had cheese though, but yeah, it looked a little more like kind of charcuterie and stuff. And then we went to the bop shop or the pop shop,
Korean,
which is Korean influenced. It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And
they had like kind of like 4 or 5 different options for bibimbap, and they also had noodles. But yeah, it's just kind of a cafeteria style, but it's really upscale. It's really kind of nice.
It's very nice because it's very new.
Yeah, very new.
Very modern looking.
So come out here if you get a chance. If you work in the South City area, come on out here. South San Francisco, famous for at least 2 things: the airport and biotech.
Biotech. Yes, I was like, what is the second thing?
Yeah, we're right in the middle of biotech. Actually, I'm looking out the window, seeing biotech companies. But so we decided to meet here just to try something new. But let's see. We get into our guest background a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing your background is Chinese.
How did you guess?
I don't know. Maybe all your Chinese cooking.
Yeah. When people ask, I think it depends who's asking. I usually say I'm Chinese, and then more specifically Cantonese, and then even more specific Toisan. Yeah. Usually if they're Chinese, I'll tell them I'm Toisan, and then sometimes even then they don't know what that means. But, yeah.
Do you speak? What languages do you speak?
I speak Cantonese conversationally, so I'm able to speak with people in generally. But if I'm watching the news, I have no idea what they're saying. The formal Cantonese, I have no idea what they're saying. But Cantonese,
and reading, writing.
Reading, writing, very minimal. Okay. Learned it in school, but haven't used it in years. And then Toisan, I can only understand it, but I can't speak it back. I'll know 2 or 3 words.
Do you heck fan?
Heck fun. Yeah.
That's all I know too. Yep. What do I know? Doi and noi, so dois.
Yep. I call it the country accent.
It is. Yeah. Or my friend used to call it Cantonese, but more spitting.
Yeah, more spitting, more twang.
Yeah. My uncle, so he grew up in San Francisco in the 1940s. He said back in the day, if you didn't speak Toisan, you were looked down upon, because it was way more common that everyone spoke Toisan.
Yeah, because all the people who immigrated here, or most of the people who immigrated to San Francisco, were there.
And that carried over to food too. So a lot of the food that you would have eaten in Chinatown in 1920s, 1930s would have been Toisan influenced.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so different today.
More than Canton. Yeah. So things have changed a little, but so your family moved here.
Yeah.
Before you were born.
Yeah. They moved here when they were 22, 23.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was born in San Francisco. I won't say when, but yes, I was born in San Francisco.
And we might have gone to the same high school, too.
Yes, we did. We found that out. That was our first way of connecting.
Yeah, okay, shout out to Norma for hooking us up together. Norma's a friend of mine. Also, apparently a friend of Susanna's from the gardening, what is it, Facebook group, or is it?
Not even a Facebook group. I just posted one day that I wanted to get into gardening, and she was so nice and was one of the most highly recommended accounts from my followers. They're like, follow this lady, Norma. She's super nice.
Yeah.
And I did. And then Norma gave me a bunch of seeds and a bunch of plant starter kit things. And she was so sweet. Just let me pick it up from her house. So yeah, I love Norma. She's super nice. Yeah.
And how we hooked up was I was like, hey, anybody know anyone who would be good for a podcast? And Norma says, hey, you want to interview Smelly Lunchbox?
That's very nice of her.
And I'd seen your stuff before, so I knew who you were a little.
Okay.
But
that's nice.
Yeah, so it was a cool connection, little high school connection.
Love that.
All right, so let's see. Going way back as a kid, were you in the kitchen a lot, or who cooks in your family?
My whole family cooks.
Okay.
Well, except for my brother. Okay. I feel like sometimes I forget about him.
Okay. Brothers are easily forgettable.
No. He's great. My older brother's great. He just doesn't live here, so sometimes I exclude him from when I say my family. But
not a cook. No.
Yes, he's not a... Well, he actually has started. But anyway, both my parents love to cook. And yeah, they were always cooking growing up. And if you've seen my content, I grew up with that built-in wok stove. I don't know if you've ever seen my videos of my parents, but yeah, they have a huge stove built in just for a huge wok, to like a hole where you just put a wok in it. And yeah, I remember growing up just running away from the oil splatters from that because it would get so intense. Hot. Yeah, so yeah, grew up cooking, and I used to watch Food Network with my dad a lot, and that's how I got really interested in cooking.
Okay, so mom and dad cook.
Yep.
And that wok stove, they crank up the BTU too, right?
Yeah.
It's not a normal gas.
Yeah, they actually don't sell them anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So were you helping out chopping stuff and actually cooking, or just kind of assisting?
Mostly assisting when I was young. I would always be peeling the ends off the green beans, or the ends of the bean sprouts, or just the little things that you give a little kid to do. So I started off like that, and then didn't really get really interested into cooking until I started watching Food Network. And it was actually, I don't know if you remember Alton Brown.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was always into the Good Eats. He was always into the science and why, explaining the why behind cooking. And I always got really curious about all of that.
Yeah.
And growing up, so this is part of the Smelly Lunchbox name, but growing up, I wasn't really proud of Chinese food the way that I am today. Right. So I saw all these American cooking, Western cooking, Italian, French on TV, on Food Network.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I want to learn how to cook that type of food.
Right.
Not Chinese food.
That's what you think of as fine cuisine.
Exactly. I'm I want to learn how to cook that. So actually when I first started cooking, I only learned how to cook pasta and Italian and American and all that. So yeah. That's...
And, as great as Food Network was, there wasn't a lot of Asian representation.
There was zero at the time.
Once in a while, you see Ming Tsai pop up. But now at least we got Molly,
We've got more now.
Yeah.
I wish I grew up with that.
Yeah, so that's cool. But the name Smelly Lunchbox obviously comes from a traumatic experience that probably most Asian kids who've ever brought some kind of leftover food from home has experienced.
Doesn't even have to be leftover.
Yeah, or it could be brand new, cooked that morning. Yeah. All right, so what was your Smelly Lunchbox experience?
Yeah, I've written about this extensively. But my Smelly Lunchbox experience was back in kindergarten. You're 4 years old, I think?
Yeah, 4 or 5, yeah.
And I remember... I didn't even have a lunchbox. I had a lunch thermos, like a lot of Asian kids did. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it was a lunch thermos.
So it's already warm.
Yes, it keeps it warm. And it has the latch at the top, and then you open it, and there's 3 containers in there stacked. And for me, it was pot stickers. My dad had made me pot stickers.
That's the classic.
Yeah,
stinky.
Exactly. It's why do dumplings smell so bad when they're in a container?
It's got to be the cabbage, I think.
It's something about the cabbage. So yeah, I remember just we were sitting at our long bench lunch tables, and I opened up my thermos and container, and those pot stickers have been steaming in there all morning.
Yeah, smells like fart.
Yeah, it really does. So I don't really blame the kid, but yeah, I remember opening it up, and just the girl across me was like, instantly made this really disgusted face.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? What are you eating? What does that smell? Like,
Right.
that's disgusting. And I just remember like closing it, not eating it, and going home that day and being so angry because I was so embarrassed. I kind of like projected that anger onto my dad, and I was like, never make me that ever again. We're only eating Lunchables from now on.
Oh, the Lunchables, the worst lunch
so
ever.
Bad.
Ultra processed, terrible. Doesn't even taste good.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus something delicious like actual home cooked pot stickers.
Actual pot stickers taste so much better. Yeah.
Oh,
but as a kid, you only care about fitting in. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we've all had some kind of experience like that where your culture has been an embarrassment to you, and now that you look back at it, you're like, why was I embarrassed about that? That was something that's totally cool.
Now it's cool.
Totally awesome. You know, if you think about it, really awesome. But somehow it was a source of, I don't know, embarrassment or shame, which is terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But, it's funny too, is that, we grew up in San Francisco, which not exactly...
It's diverse.
Yeah, not exactly.
Compared
can you
to most
imagine
places.
being somewhere else?
Yeah, I know. It could have been much worse. And I'm sure, actually, so many people have messaged me because of the name of my account, just like sharing their own experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are people who grew up in towns that weren't diverse at all and experienced much worse bullying and, real traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
But in the same way, have started to accept and really embrace their identity as adults.
Yeah.
So it's really happy to see that.
Yeah, that's great. And I love the name too. It's fun to say.
It's just funny.
Smelly Lunchbox, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is the whole thing. Like, if, maybe your parents have an accent, or maybe your home smells a certain way.
I've gotten that comment before.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we say it too. Sometimes we go to someone's house.
Oh, I know.
But it's kind of like, okay. But it's not like something to be embarrassed about. It's, who you are and stuff.
It's just us kids,
Yeah, kids. Kids is tough. Tough to be a kid out there.
It is.
Yeah. All right. So, so you grew up in San Francisco and you loved cooking, or you started to appreciate cooking. What was the plan? Like, so you go to college, and what were you thinking you'd do with your life when you grew up?
Yeah. I remember I loved cooking so much in high school that I started like a blog.
Oh, did
back
you?
then, terrible. It was just for myself and
Right.
maybe some of my friends to see.
One or two friends.
Yeah. It was so bad. Back when Tumblr was still a thing.
Yeah.
But
But was that to archive stuff or just to share?
it was to share, with your
Okay.
friends, people
Yeah.
who knew you. But yeah, I remember I was into cooking so much that I tried to convince my parents to let me go to culinary school.
Oh, yeah.
They were not happy about that.
That's a tough one.
As a parent, I'm sure.
Immigrant parents, yeah, especially.
Yeah,
Even me as an American born. Yeah, my daughter says art school or culinary.
You're like,
You're like, oh.
And I know it's for, they have our best interests in mind.
Sure,
But
yeah,
at that time,
yeah.
I was so upset. I even went to the orientation for the culinary school and I was like, it was so cool. I want to go. And they said, look, you can go to a 4-year college or university. And if you still want to cook after that, then you can go to culinary school after that. I was like,
That's
fine.
fair. That's
fine.
fair.
So I chose the closest major that I could find to cooking, which was nutrition. So I
Okay,
majored in
yeah.
nutrition in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no actual cooking.
There actually was.
Oh, there was there? Okay.
So I went to Cal Poly SLO, which their whole motto was "Learn by doing," which I actually really loved because
Yeah.
they had some cooking classes. We got to go out into, it was a very agriculture heavy school, so we got to go to like farms and stuff sometimes,
Okay.
just outdoors, and yeah, there were cooking classes. It was the best classes of my life.
Forget calculus.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I've never heard anyone say that about biology, but
Oh,
that's what I teach.
not as fun.
All right, so you got a degree in nutrition.
Yes.
Were you still thinking, okay, now culinary or working, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, so at the end of college, I realized, as much as I love food and I did like nutrition as a major, I couldn't see myself doing it as a job. I
Yeah.
couldn't see myself becoming a registered dietitian and working in
yeah.
a hospital. And so after graduating college, because I was just trying to be responsible, I did apply to some like hospital jobs and all that, but ended up not pursuing that, and I ended up doing a culinary internship at Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. They have these rotational internships. So Google, if you don't know, they have a huge campus in Mountain View. And within that campus, they have like 50 plus restaurants.
Yeah.
Like cafes, like small restaurants. Basically like this, like where we just ate lunch.
Right.
And I think it was each summer they have a group of interns that come in and just, we're basically prep cooks. Yeah, we're prep cooks. Yeah. And they called it a culinary internship. And it was actually really fun. So it was for 3 months. And each month you get to rotate to a different cafe. Okay. And so I did like a fine dining one. I did like a casual one. I did an Asian one. But after that experience, I was like, I don't want to pursue culinary as a job anymore.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's so much physical labor.
It is.
Yeah. A lot of appreciation for back of house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the blog was still going on, or how did we get
that blog died within the same year.
Okay, that blog died.
The high school one died.
All right, but Smelly Lunchbox was born. How did Smelly Lunchbox come about?
Yeah, so after the culinary internship, realizing not pursuing this path in my life, because I live in San Francisco, where the tech boom is.
Yeah.
I just got my foot in the door in a tech company that was also revolved around food.
Okay.
They did catering, like lunch catering for businesses. And I worked in HR.
Okay.
I was like, what job can I do where you don't need like a lot of technical skills and I can like probably learn as I go. And that was HR. So luckily they took a chance on me, and I worked in HR / the people team for 8 years ish. Yeah. Jumped to a few different companies. And then Smelly Lunchbox was born in 2020 during the pandemic. So as terrible as the pandemic was, the one good thing I think that came out of it was, I think it made everyone pause in their life and reflect on whether what they were doing for work really mattered to them. And it did that for me. So I realized like why I haven't felt fulfilled all these years working in HR, and I always felt like there was something missing. And so that's why I started the blog. I was like, I just want a way to reconnect with my roots in a way that only I know how, which is food and cooking. And that was born in 2020. Just the website, just posting pictures, and I think I started the Instagram as well, but not video. It was just photos. And I would just recreate dishes from my childhood. So yeah.
And I think we were talking about one of your dishes, the steamed rice roll, and you
talked about
Chuan Fan. You talked about your dad getting involved.
Yeah.
So your family is really involved now, yeah?
My family is super involved now.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen my recent content, but I feel like my audience loves my parents more than they love me.
That's not true, but we do like seeing them. That's for sure.
It's hard to not like my parents. I know they're great.
Lovable,
they are great, and they're super involved. They weren't initially supportive of me like making this decision to quit my corporate job, but but they were very, very supportive. Like just that whole process, as long as I was responsible. Like financially. Yeah.
You're not burning through cash.
Yes, exactly.
No, it's very cool. It's very fun. And it seems like, most of your dishes, not all, but most of your dishes are rooted in your roots.
Most of them are, yeah. A lot of them are inspired by like dishes that my parents would make for us growing up, or dishes that they make now.
Yeah. And so if you haven't been to Susanna's, I guess Instagram or blog would be kind of the main way, or TikTok too, are you?
TikTok sometimes, yeah. TikTok's kind of mean though, so I try to stick to Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. So Instagram, but it's a lot of Toisan and Cantonese dishes. So a lot of steamed eggs.
Oh yeah.
A lot of pork and chicken.
A lot of soups.
Yeah. So Toisan, how would you describe Toisan cuisine? It's a lot of clay pot is a big deal.
Clay pot's huge in Toisan cuisine. Speaking of clay pot, there is like a specific clay pot that's very specific to Toisan cuisine. It is the yellow eel clay pot.
Yeah, I saw you make that one.
Oh man, I grew up with that, and I didn't know that it was such a Toisan specific dish.
And you said it's kind of like unagi.
So it's the same texture
Uh-huh.
of unagi, like the eel kind
right.
of fish texture, but without the unagi sauce.
Yeah.
So I would
And-
say it's similar.
And the clay pot gets that little fondue on the bottom.
Oh my
the little
God, the
crispy
best
rice.
part.
Yeah.
The
You gotta
fondue,
fight for that
yes.
part. Yeah.
Yes. My parents were so sweet. They always give me all of it.
Oh wow, you are the favorite child. Then.
Oh, see, my brother's not here.
Can't do. You got to be in town to get the fondue.
Exactly. Yeah.
So clay pots, seafood. Well, that's
Yeah.
more Hong Kong. Yeah.
It's a lot of pork.
A lot of pork.
Like pork patties,
Yeah.
I think. Like the steamed pork patty.
Right,
I think
the-
that's a Toisan one, right?
Jiuk bang. The
Yeah, the yokbang.
yeah. I don't. I mean, it's hard to tell now because a lot of Cantonese.
It's kind
cook-
of mixed now. Yeah.
Actually, if you don't know, Toisan is like a region
Mm-hmm.
in the Guangdong province,
Mm-hmm.
which contains Canton, which is also probably the main city in Guangdong.
Yeah.
But Toisan was for a minute or more like 100 years was kind of where most Chinese Americans came from in
Yep.
from the 1800s to the 1970s and 80s.
At least to San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were saying something like 8 out of 10 Chinese in America have roots in Toisan.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's surprising. I
Yeah.
didn't know this until
Yeah.
like very recently. Actually, probably until I started posting content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shifting now, I
Mm-hmm.
think. But yeah, if you know anyone with the last name of Chin or Fong or Sito, they're probably got some Toisan roots in there. Moy and Toy. Those those are big Toisan names.
You know more than I do.
A little bit. Well, I'm just curious about it because of, I didn't know anything growing up. We talked about this a little bit before,
yeah.
but I didn't know anything growing up. And then, just getting a chance to go over there a little. And it was always referred to as the village
Yep.
when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go there now, it's like 8 million people.
Oh my gosh.
So big.
Yeah, I haven't visited since I was maybe 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember visiting my parents' or my mom's old house.
Yeah.
They didn't have like running water.
Yeah.
They didn't have electricity. Their bathroom was like a ditch, so
Yeah.
it's truly the village.
100%,
Yeah,
yeah.
truly the village.
So there's definitely still countryside.
Yeah.
But Toisan City is huge.
Mhm.
Toisan City
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really-
it's so different now,
It's a
I
real
heard.
city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're probably like it's amazing. You don't have to go that far out of the city to get to
The village.
the village again. Yeah. So anyone out there, it's a little Toisan history out there. Just kind of curious.
I'm
about
learning
it.
too. Thank you.
But yeah, the food. So food is kind of country style stews and rice pots and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all super yummy though. So
I'm very proud of it.
I don't know how we're gonna do this. When I wrote these notes, I was thinking we'd do this on Zoom. But can we watch some of your videos together? And give us
Yes.
some background.
Sure.
All right, let's
Yeah.
see. Which one? So the one that I recently cooked that I really liked was the chung fun or the rice roll.
The steamed
one.
rice roll.
You
yeah.
said you workshopped that one with your dad.
I did.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard to make at home. It's not like something. Because I posted some pictures about it, and everyone goes, "Where'd you get?" Yeah, I've never seen people do this at home.
Oh, yeah.
Because we used to have. Okay, so my wife had this machine.
The tray?
The
steaming tray.
The steaming tray
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Mhm.
It's like the size bigger than a toaster oven,
Yep.
smaller than a microwave.
Yep.
But it was taking up too much space.
Too much.
We gave
same.
it away.
Exactly. Same.
Yeah, we gave it away.
We had one too.
So I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess we're never gonna make rice rolls at home. But along comes Smelly Lunchbox. All right,
Who
so
knew these dental trays could come to use?
it was like it's a
It's like a
kid's food
stainless steel,
Yeah.
kids food tray.
yeah, that looks like a dental.
It looks like a dental tray.
Okay, so that's where you get it from. Go to Amazon and type in stainless steel kids plate.
Okay, you know better than I do. I haven't been there in a while
Actually,
now.
you put that on comments. I think someone asked
Oh,
where to
did
get
I?
it. Yeah.
I think I linked it in the blog post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go check out the blog
Yeah.
post. Also, shout out to your website. I love the scalability of your website.
The scale of the recipes?
Yeah, so if you say I want a double this recipe, you hit a button and
Oh,
it does
yeah.
the math for you.
Oh, I know. It's the recipe card. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So, it's just an app that you plug in on there?
Yeah, so I use WordPress to build my website.
Okay.
And they have a ton of different plugins. So it's one of the recipe card
Why doesn't
plugins.
anyone do it? It's so awesome.
Do you not? I thought most websites have that.
I don't know. I don't
Maybe
know
not the ones you
I'm still
use.
multiplying fractions on some
Oh my gosh, no.
of these websites, yeah. All right, so I don't know how we're going to do this. So we'll gather around
Well, just pretend the audience is also watching this video.
Yeah, so I will. Well, I'll play the audio for them.
Okay.
But so
Actually, don't think the Chuan Fun one has my voiceover because that was before I started putting my voice and face in it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. There's a progression of my content. If you look all the way back, I never put my voice or my face in it. Yeah.
Huh. Were you shy?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let me pull it up, and then you can do the voiceover now. How about that?
I can try to describe it as best as I can.
Okay, let's see. This is not that long ago. Are you sure you didn't talk about this?
Yeah. No, I don't think I did.
Okay.
It's
For
an
some
oldie.
reason, I could hear your voice somehow. Maybe you had just been in my brain.
You can just imagine it now.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm scrolling a while.
Yeah, it's one of my older ones, filmed with my old filming setup too.
Oh, okay. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so I started the blog in 2020, and then I started making videos, like short form reels, in 2021, November. I have a very vivid memory of this.
Okay. November 2021.
Yeah, so it's been 3 years.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I can still project your voice on
You
here.
probably could.
It's just you. So one of the keys is the potato starch and the tapioca starch.
Yes, so for Chuan Fun, for steamed rice rolls, it's all down to preference, but what me and my dad like, we like something that is a little bit stretchy, a little bit chewy, and so we wanted to add the potato starch for that kind of like slight, kind of chewy, stretchy texture.
Uh-huh.
And some people use wheat starch, but
Okay.
sometimes that's harder to find. So actually, me and my dad, I actually told my dad, I was like, I want to make a recipe with potato starch and not wheat starch.
Because it's easier to find.
Yeah, most people can find it in American grocery stores.
Yeah.
Whereas for wheat starch, you might only be able to find that at an Asian supermarket. So to make it as accessible as possible, we chose potato starch. And yeah, it helps with that, just like bounce and chew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ratio of the different flours as well.
ratio.
The ratio, that's what we tested a long time.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And these little trays, so what are they?
4 by 6? I don't know.
4 by 6, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll fit in a little bamboo steamer.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you can make them at home. And the other key that you mentioned in the blog, but not in this video, is you gotta let it cool.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't let it cool, it's going to stick all over the
It's
place.
really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get to
don't
be
rush
so
it.
patient with this recipe.
Don't rush it.
Yeah. People make this recipe. They're like, it's so good, but it takes so much time.
It does.
so
Because
much
it's small. You don't do
patience.
one at a time.
Exactly.
So yeah, you get a line of people waiting.
Yeah. You get one hot one, you eat it, and as you're making the next one.
And then the crowd is getting angry.
Yeah.
But so call them down one at a time. So at my house, we'll call one down. They'll eat.
It's like a restaurant.
Go back upstairs, do what they're doing. Call the second one down.
I love that.
But yeah, so we're here with my second daughter, and she doesn't like shrimp. So we threw in a yao tu.
Yes.
And made the jiaolang.
That's
With the
smart.
sweet soy sauce. The sweet soy sauce is so easy, but so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, I love that. Love that you adapted it based on what your daughter likes.
Yeah. No, it was super crowd pleaser. Wife was impressed. She said I scored major points that week.
Oh, yeah.
And the internet was impressed. My friends who saw it were all asking where I got that.
I
So
love
you
that.
got at least 3 new followers.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure. All right. Do you want to pick a video?
Sure.
Maybe one with actual voiceovers.
Ooh, okay. It would have to be a more recent
Okay,
one then.
scrolling up.
Let's see. If I were to pick a fan favorite,
Yeah.
it would probably be my shortcut pineapple buns.
Okay, yeah.
That one is a huge, huge fan favorite. I think just because of how easy it is. And
Okay.
like so many people love pineapple buns. And finding
Yeah.
out that you can just make it without baking up bread yourself. You can just buy the King's Hawaiian rolls and make the topping. It's, people love that idea.
Okay, and then for people out there who don't know, there are no actual pineapples in
Yes.
these buns.
Oh my gosh. I got so many messages like, what? There's no pineapple in here? I'm like,
I love pineapple.
it's because it looks like a pineapple.
It looks like a
Yeah.
pineapple. Yeah. Okay, I found it.
Okay. You found it?
Yeah.
The original one?
This guy here?
That's the one with barbecue pork, but you could
Oh, wait,
you could
that's-
do that one as well.
Oh, that's with the cha siu inside.
Yeah.
Okay, scrolling down.
I don't know why I can't find the original
Oh, there it is.
one.
This guy.
Okay, you found it before.
All right, so I'll just play the video for everyone out there, but you can throw in some commentary.
Sure. This is my favorite hack to make easy pineapple buns at home without needing to make a dough. Before we get there, let's make the cookie topping first, which is made of ingredients you might already have in your pantry. Once it's all mixed together, you can roll it into a log and do this fun spin. And then we're going to put it into the fridge for 30 minutes to let it firm up. Then cut it into 8 even discs, roll each piece, and flatten them until they're about a 1/4 inch thick. And here's the hack. Use store-bought sweet rolls as the bun, so you don't need to make your own dough from scratch. This saves so much time and mess, and they come out so good. Make sure to bake it on a wire rack to prevent the bottom from burning, and enjoy!
But it's just a King's Hawaiian.
Yeah, so literally all you have to do is make that sugar cookie topping.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's like basically a sugar cookie. You want to refrigerate it so that it's actually kind of firm enough and won't just fall apart when you bake it. And the nice thing about this is that you can actually make this ahead of time. Like you can make that sugar cookie topping, keep it in your fridge 3 or 4 days, and whenever you have a craving, you can
you
just...
could do like 4 at a time. You could do like 4 little ones. Oh,
yeah. Do it. You can do whatever you want for this recipe.
This is such a good hack.
And
look at those things.
Under an hour, you can have pineapple
so
buns.
you might burn on the bottom there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was, I actually included me burning the bottom of that bun to show people what they shouldn't do.
Okay.
And instead, the thing you should do is bake it on a wire rack so that it's not touching the tray and burning the bottom of the bun.
All right. Because it's already baked.
Exactly. You don't want to bake it anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's a super fan favorite, I would say. The most recreated recipe.
So I think, okay, but I did go on Reels and I saw one that had a couple, like maybe 12 million.
Oh.
Do you want to guess what that is?
My dad's?
Doing what?
The salted egg one?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's so cute.
That one went wild.
Super viral.
I did not expect that at all.
You know why? I don't think there's anyone else there. Have you ever seen anyone else do it?
No. Is that why?
Maybe. And it's super yummy.
Yeah. Well, people don't know. There's a huge audience of people who watch that and are like, why would anyone do this?
But put it on some crab or put it on...
Oh, so good.
So good on so many different things.
We use it in our mooncakes and also our zhong.
Right.
So, like, it's just totally from scratch. Just our zhong is just made with so much love. Our mooncakes are made with so much love because that process starts 50 days in advance.
Yeah. Oh, so it's a month and a half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. It takes 45 days. So we gotta we gotta prep.
Okay. You want to watch this one together?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. So this guy?
Yep. 23.4 million now.
Jeez. That's like the size
insane.
of... Well, how many people are in Canada? They may have 50 million, but
half of Canada.
23 million is probably bigger. Like I know... See, I did this because I interviewed someone who had like 6 million followers.
That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you have more than New Zealand. You have more followers than there are people in New Zealand or Ireland.
Find the equivalent of 23.4 million.
Yeah, that's bigger than a lot of countries probably. Okay, so your dad, does he get stopped in the street? Does he...
Not yet, but I feel like he will soon. I think he will soon.
He's a local legend.
Yeah.
All right, you want to talk us through this? Or is there talking on this one?
I think it's mostly him talking.
Okay.
And I'm kind of listening and responding a little bit. But yeah, it's how my dad makes 100+ salted egg yolks.
And if you're going to do it, you're going to do 100.
Oh, of course.
Right.
That's exactly my parents' mentality. It's like, if we're going to do something that's going to take a lot of work, we're going to do a lot of them.
That is true. Like, you're not going to make 2 jong, right?
Exactly. No, exactly.
You got to fill a freezer.
We make 150.
Yeah, right?
洗咗之後咧，就等嗰啲水乾晒，乾啦就倒2罐鹽落去，就等佢全部肉煮到去，咁就好啦。而家要攞啲。
Oh yeah, he's showing the alcohol that we use to rinse our eggs, and it's this really nice bak zhao. It's this like
rice wine.
Yeah, it's really high ABV.
Wow, he's got a 5-gallon bucket going on.
Yes. Oh, nap time is really important to include in that video. I don't know if you saw the quick clip, but my dad does a quick nap time with his eyes closed.
The best.
But yeah, the behind the scenes is that he tells me later, I wasn't actually napping, I was just closing my
Resting
eyes.
my eyes.
浸過啲蛋咁樣咯，寫翻個 day， 寫翻個幾多喺度。
Okay. See you in 45 days.
Yeah. So this was just part 1 that blew up. Because I still needed it to wait 45 days for the eggs to actually be salted and cured. And people got so upset. They were like, why would you make me wait 45 days?
Because it's real time.
Yeah, it's in real time.
We're not editing this thing, man.
Yeah.
150 eggs. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. People also got wild over the 2 containers of salt.
That's some salt.
Yeah. So
But it's all science, man. You got to have the
it
salt
is.
and the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curing is such a big process that, they had to do back then because there were no
Yeah.
refrigerators.
Yeah.
Like, I just did a cured pork belly video, my dad
That's true.
also. And people are like, why do you guys eat so much salt? Or like, it's not because we want to eat so much salt. It's because they didn't have refrigeration.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that was
like
one way to preserve.
Hamu and
Exactly.
all that stuff. 1,000-year-old age.
Yeah.
They're burying it in the ground. Yeah. So much fun. Yeah. All right. So everyone out there, you should definitely go check out these. If these sound good to you at all, now they're not all these extreme ones.
No.
You have just like stir-fried vegetables.
Yes,
Or
yes.
you'll have
a lot of very easy, simple
restaurant
recipes.
classics.
Yeah.
And you'll have a few like what do you do? Spam something? Or
I've done Spam a few times. I love Spam.
yeah. So they're not all like from the village.
No. No. I try to, it's kind of like how would I describe it? Not a modern take on all these dishes, but if I were to kind of make these dishes a little bit more accessible to more people, how would that's kind of the lens that I have on my recipes. Yeah.
Because there may be quote unquote more authentic ways to do things. But
Sure.
You're kind of shortcutting it a little.
Exactly.
Or
I have a
making it
middle ground.
home
like,
friendly.
Yeah. I think there are some dishes that I try to keep really traditional and then others, like the pineapple bun, like to make it more accessible. I would love to make this shortcut. So
Yeah. Wait, did you do the jumping?
the scallion pancake one?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Yes.
That video didn't get enough love, but yes.
Yeah, I was searching around. Yeah, okay. So see, I go through all these different websites, so I'm not sure whose is whose, but
Yeah.
No, I definitely use your stuff before.
Yeah. Frozen scallion pancake.
Yeah,
jianbing. Yeah.
such a hack.
Jianbing in Canto.
Yeah. No, because if you're rolling out like millet,
Oh yeah.
no one has time for
No, exactly.
that. But yeah.
These days, especially, I think people want the shortcuts.
Yeah. No, that was a great hack.
Thanks.
All right. So let's see. I think we are. Oh, you know what was kind of fun too? I saw that you put together a family cookbook
Oh yeah.
just for yourself.
yes.
It was not published. You can't find it on Amazon.
No, I know.
It was self-published
I
just
know.
for it was. And I think you mentioned where you did the pub, but you could just upload family recipes. And
Yeah.
they'll bind it together for you.
Yeah, so I use this service called Heirloom Project. And it's really, I feel like, in line with what I am hoping to be doing with my recipes, which is like compile them and make sure that it's an heirloom that I can pass down
Yeah.
to future generations, right? So they reached out and we partnered to do a family cookbook. So it's not, unfortunately, on sale to the public, but it was a really, really nice kind of family project that I worked on, and my family gets to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any ideas for the future? Maybe a cookbook?
I've definitely considered it. I've had a lot of people ask for one. Yeah, I've definitely looked into it. I've talked to publishers and everything. I've gotten that far. But I've just kind of realized it's not the path that I want to pursue right now. It's a lot of work. I don't know if you guys
ton
know.
of work.
It's so much work. Like
Yeah.
people work on cookbooks for 2 to 3 years behind the scenes, behind like everything else they're already doing.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I felt like it's not the right time, but I think in the future want to do one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, you got to workshop some stuff out. You got to get probably a good 150 recipes.
Oh, see, yeah, you gotta put out new recipes into the cookbook, so people
Right.
want to buy your cookbook
That
to
aren't
get
on the
those
blog.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I have interviewed some people, the Walks of Life crew and then Cat Lou.
They're the OGs.
Yeah, they're
Walks of
super
Life.
OG.
Yeah.
Uncle Bill, and Caitlin and Sarah. They're super great, but they're like that almost wrecked
So
them.
much. Oh my gosh.
No, I mean they were just being a little
No,
dramatic.
I know,
but-
I know. I can imagine though, and
But yeah,
their
they-
cookbook is beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so any future plans besides just keep doing what you're doing?
Future plans. I try to keep things. I take things like a day at a time sometimes.
Right.
It's tough when you're doing this full time. I think
Yeah.
that a lot of people glamorize doing content creation full time. But there's a ton of struggle behind the scenes, I would say.
So much work.
Yeah, it's so much work, and it's so compared to having a corporate job where you're just going to get paid every 2 weeks no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that's just guaranteed.
Yeah.
But when you're working for yourself, like that's definitely not the case. So yeah, I still love it though. Wouldn't change it. I would still make this decision like again and again.
Yeah.
And so grateful to even have the chance to do it. But yeah, it's tough sometimes. Yeah. So I try to take it a day at a time.
Yeah. No, that's the way to do it. Because if you plan too much,
things always change.
So many
in
things
this
go
space,
wrong. Yeah.
Things never go according to plan.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah.
We talked about maybe going out and trying food in the local area. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So we were talking about this during lunch, but I would love to start sharing some maybe local eats that me and my parents really like. Just in a way to share restaurants that we really enjoy.
Yeah.
To hopefully uplift some local businesses. And, people are always asking for recs in San Francisco and South San Francisco. So would love to share some.
Yeah. What about YouTube long form?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's on the whiteboard as well.
It is. I know. I would love to do YouTube. I really wish that it was easier for me, but gosh, it's so much. I just told Curtis this, but I do everything on my phone right now. Yeah. So I film, I edit, I write captions, everything on my phone. And so having a camera means that I would have to bring out my laptop and edit on my laptop. It's a lot more work. And yeah.
Well,
Soon.
Someday. Actually, we talked about it. We were in the same room before now.
That's right.
We were at the Moongate Lounge together.
Yeah, at a YouTube event.
I was
Speaking
like
of
such an
YouTube.
imposter. I was like, I have a YouTube too, but it's just audio only.
Oh, really?
So lame. It's just,
you have no bitch. Like, do you have like a picture?
It's
on
my
the
logo.
Oh.
For 45 minutes. Oh. So if you're listening on YouTube, props to you, man, because this is the most boring YouTube channel ever. I thought it was only YouTube music. So I was just trying to get on YouTube Music.
Oh, I see.
And so I had to create a YouTube account and post. And then I didn't know.
And you accidentally posted it as a video?
No, it always automatically does it. And so now it's so embarrassing though, because it's like, oh yeah, this interview, 2 views.
I'll give you one. I'll go home. I'll give you a follow.
Just leave it on play overnight.
Yeah, I actually do that with YouTube videos that I want to support. I just I'll leave it on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It's so sad. It's. But no one watches videos of a logo for 45 minutes.
This is why you need to put video in your... No, you don't need to. I'm kidding.
That and I have a day job. So
Yeah. You're a biology teacher. People don't know that.
We're not... I don't think we're making the migration over to video anytime soon. But maybe I'll see you at more YouTube events.
I hope so.
I'm there for the free food.
There for the food, always.
Well, actually, it's fun. I did bump into some people that I am going to interview. So
awesome.
I was there to find
Can
people.
I guess?
Huh?
Can I guess? Would I know them?
Okay, yeah. One of them's super obvious.
Okay, I feel like I know who it is. Are they also in my niche?
Oakland, California.
Yeah. Okay.
James Beard Award winner.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but that wasn't the goal.
I love them, by the way.
Yeah, so
I
we're
won't
talking
ruin
about
the
Maven
surprise.
Lau.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
you're going to say
Randy
it.
Lau,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, I love them.
But also, Brandon Jew, I wouldn't mind interviewing.
Are you going to interview him?
No, but I met him that night.
Oh, you should.
Because we were at his lounge.
I would want to hear his story.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So shout out to both of them. You're welcome on the podcast anytime. But I bumped into a couple other creators that are doing some cool stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see.
That's what you were doing there, huh? Scouting.
Networking.
Scouting.
I hate networking. Do you like I hate networking so bad. But oops.
Someone set off an alarm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hate networking, but sometimes you have to do it. But you know what was actually kind of cool? This probably won't make the podcast, but what's kind of cool is we were just standing at one of those little stand-up tables, and people would actually come over and say, "Oh, how are you guys doing? What do you guys do?"
Oh, nice.
That was kind of nice, and it wasn't purely like, hey, "What can you do for me?" kind of stuff. It was just
it's just in like a friendly way.
Yeah. I was props to them for having the boldness to do that.
I'm not those people at networking events. I wish I could be those people at networking
I'm not that
events.
person.
Yeah.
I'm more like just sit in the corner eating the hors d'oeuvres.
I'll just stay close to the person that I know.
Yeah. So I didn't know anyone, but I bumped into someone walking over there, and she happened to be really outgoing. And she's not a YouTuber either. And we were like, oh yeah, let's hang out together.
We're just here for the food.
Because someone asked me how many followers I have. And it's like,
no.
I have 12, or something like that. So it's a really sad number. But it's fun. I would just say I'm not really a YouTuber.
Yeah.
But and they didn't question it. They were like, yeah, whatever. You're here for the free food. We know.
Yeah, exactly. There are a mix of people here.
All right, but we'll probably cut all this. But so maybe I'll bump into you at another YouTuber event. That would be fun.
I'm sure I'll be there. Yep.
So anyway, so stay tuned, everyone out there. You don't know what Susanna's going to be up to next, but stay tuned. Definitely check out the blog.
Thank you.
SmellyLunchbox.com.
Yep.
All
That's
right,
me.
And Instagram at Smelly Lunchbox.
Yep.
All right. Well, Susanna, you have survived our difficult questions. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Ooh, okay. I'm so ready.
All right, let's see. Well, you think you are, but let's see. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, let's see. What is your favorite Kanto comfort food?
Tomato egg.
Tomato egg?
Yeah.
I saw you threw in a little
Classic.
ground beef one time, too.
Yes, that was my recent one. I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? But
Yeah.
apparently it was already a thing. I just didn't think about. I don't know.
I guess, yeah, I've had the tomato beef.
Oh yeah, tomato beef is one thing.
Tomato beef chow mein, too. That's also good. But yeah, just tomato egg.
Just tomato egg. Yeah.
Throw in some shrimp, too.
I've never done that.
You could.
Sounds good though. I would.
Why not? Why not? All right. Now, I don't know what your definition of smelly is, but what's your favorite smelly food?
Probably Chinese chives.
Okay.
Have you ever smelled Chinese chives when they go bad?
Not when they're bad. Are they really bad? Are they?
They get okay.
But they're still edible?
So when they start to wilt is when they start to really smell kind of funky.
Yeah.
But they're really good. Also when they're cooked, they kind of smell a little
Yeah.
funky too. Yeah.
Will you do stinky tofu? Have you ever done that?
I've done it once like a long time ago, so I actually don't remember.
How about durian?
Durian I have done before.
Do you
I
like
wouldn't.
it?
It's not my
You're
favorite.
kind of neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not my favorite.
I don't know what my favorite smelly food. I'm generally not a smelly food kind of person. So I can't even. But yeah, I'll go. You know, I don't mind the cabbage smell. So like a
Yeah.
reheated pot sticker.
So read
That's fine.
the thermos packed pot sticker.
Now, is it bad? Okay, let me get this guy. Oh, they're opening the.
They're opening the bar.
Hey,
Good timing.
2:00. We got a hard stop at 2. Are we okay?
I think we're
Only one.
okay.
It's only one. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're okay.
All right. I'm going to name 2 things. You can only have one of them. The
Okay.
other one ceases to exist.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
For how long? The rest of my life?
I don't know. 5 years.
Okay.
We don't want to be that extreme.
Okay.
All right. Chicken or eggs?
Oh my god. Chicken.
Really?
Yeah.
You have a
That
lot
was
of
a tough
eggs.
one, though.
You have a lot of eggs on your.
I have so many eggs recipes.
Okay. Rice or noodles?
Rice. I love noodles, but I can't not
Yeah.
have rice.
I think
Yeah.
Southern Chinese.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, Northern Chinese might go
They need their
with the
noodles.
wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Surf or turf?
I think I would go more seafood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you're a true Southern Chinese
Yeah,
girl.
because I love red meat. Well, no, I don't actually. I like steak, but I can only eat like a few pieces before I'm tired of it.
But
Yeah.
seafood every day? You
Seafood, I
think?
could eat it every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How about dim sum or sushi?
Dim sum.
For sure.
Oh, come
wow,
on.
Yeah, so you're on brand. You are on brand with this. All right. Let's see. I don't know. You got one? Think of one.
What's a good
That would be
one?
hard for you. I was thinking tea or coffee, including boba. Is that a hard one for you? That's not hard for me because I don't drink a lot of coffee.
Also don't drink a lot of coffee. I'm like hypersensitive to caffeine.
Yeah, me too.
But I love the taste of it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I probably no, actually, because of the taste, I would still pick coffee.
Really?
Even though I'm hypersensitive.
Even though you know, yeah.
yeah.
I do decaf. Yeah.
Yeah, I should just do
Because
decaf.
I like the flavor too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Huh.
I would pick coffee.
I was trying to think about your content. What would be a hard one for you?
Probably, barbecue pork bun or pineapple bun.
Oh, really? I'll go chassis bao. then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy for you?
Huh?
Is that easy for you?
Pretty easy. Yeah. Though I do like a good bolo bao, but yeah, no. If I'm standing there at the counter, I'm going chassis bao almost every time.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that.
All right, and we like to end with our signature question. We ask our guests who their infatuasian is. Infatuasian is anyone in the Asian community that you admire. It could be living or deceased, someone you know, or someone you admire from afar. So, Susanna, who is your infatuasian?
Yeah, I thought about this. My first gut, actually, can I have two? Is that okay?
Yeah, well,
so first
absolutely.
gut reaction is someone you just mentioned earlier, which is Made with Lao. I want to
yeah.
say that they were a big inspiration,
Yeah.
inspiration to what I'm doing today.
Right.
And then a second one is actually a throwback to some people on YouTube back in the 2010s era. They're called Wong Fu Productions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not the first. You're not the
Really?
first. Yeah.
Okay. I love them so much because I feel like they were one of the first Asian representation that I saw
Right.
in media.
Yeah.
Where they were just creating their own skits. They were
And-
cool. They were funny. They were.
They seem like people you could know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I looked up to them so much back then. And I felt so proud to be Asian. I think that might have been
Yeah.
one of the first few times
Yeah.
that I felt proud to be Asian was
Right.
watching them on YouTube.
Because TV back then, even
Zero.
movies and TV, is
Like
super
side
slim.
characters, very limited.
Right.
Yeah.
But these were actual people having lives. They weren't doing kung fu.
No,
They weren't,
they're just being normal.
they're American born.
Yeah.
Which you didn't see. Besides maybe Better Luck Tomorrow.
I don't know that one.
Oh, that was like the first Asian
Oh,
American.
really?
Yeah.
Gotta watch it now.
But yeah, no, you're not the first to mention those guys.
Really? Okay.
because-
I'm glad.
And I love this. I've mentioned this before, but some of their content wasn't even necessarily Asian.
It wasn't.
It was just Asian American living life in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, dating and loving. And
Such good storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, those guys are legends. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, good picks. Because, yeah, it was slim pickings. Even for someone as young as you.
I'm not that young. A little bit.
there wasn't reference. It's just now. I think just starting the last since I did
Handful
this
of
podcast
years.
3 years now, 3.5 years. I think that was when we started to see TVs and movies more and more Asian American stories.
Yeah.
Mixed in with Asian stories.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. Imagining that your daughters are growing up in a world where that's the norm.
Yeah,
Is-
where on her wall, I'm pointing to my daughter right now. On her wall, she has all these K-pop stars on the
Oh,
wall.
I love
and,
that.
when I was a kid, I thought about getting a Bruce Lee poster, but that would be the only one I could have gotten.
We're many to choose from.
There weren't many to choose.
Yeah.
There's one to choose from. We talked about Connie Chung earlier.
Yeah.
She was a face, but now there's so many to choose from and to see yourself, especially on social media, YouTube and elsewhere. I mean, so many faces that look like us.
My dream one day is just that Smelly Lunchbox doesn't mean anything to the younger generation.
That's true. Yeah.
Which I think
Yeah.
is happening. I've heard of so many stories today.
Yeah.
Yeah, where that's happening. So
That is
that's
cool.
great.
Yeah, I can attest that we have kids bringing smelly food to school. That used to open my room for lunch, and kids would bring smelly food. I may look over there with little side eyes, but yeah, it's just the norm. It's just more normal now. That's great. Well, Susanna, this has been super fun.
Yeah, I love this.
Thanks for coming out of the house.
Of course. I needed something to get me out of the house.
No, but this is fun, and I'll definitely bump into you again.
Yeah.
And keep in touch with whatever you need help promoting. Let me know.
Thank you so much.
We'll do a little thing. But so everyone out there, go follow Susanna at Smelly Lunchbox or smellylunchbox.com.
Yep.
And you can follow us too. I was just gonna say you can smell us too. You can follow us too at Infatuasian Podcast at gmail.com. You can send us an email, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Infatuasian Podcast. And so, on behalf of Susanna and myself, we hope that you're all happy, healthy, and safe out there. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Of course.